beautiful
one
lower
hemlock
deck.
left right there. Nice hemlock. All the other ones are dead.
I love our
They died from the tree.
patio down here. So Joe.
Okay, so we're going to run over the tree fern growing conditions for people that are just getting into tree ferns. It's spring and there's a lot of people that want to grow a tree fern. So this is one of many. We have a lot of tree ferns in our garden. The other ones are smaller. We have 2 Cyathea cooperi and maybe about 10, I guess, Dicksonia antarctica. So Dicksonia antarctica is the Tasmanian tree fern. That's what this is. This is a Tasmanian tree fern. And Cyathea cooperi is an Australian tree fern, which is less hardy. So I just watered this. We're in our dry season right now. It's been extremely dry here on Salt Spring Island and the Southern Gulf Islands. This one I planted in April 1994. So it's been in the ground 27 years now. And the key to growing these things in this climate, plant them in a sheltered location. I always remember one thing. The most tender part of the tree fern is the center, the inner crown, where the croziers emerge, where those fronds unfurl. That is the most frost tender part of the Tasmanian tree fern. The trunk is the hardiest part. Right. I bet you that trunk could probably take -9 degrees Celsius. You know, it's never been that cold. I've never recorded that cold here. The fronds down to about -6.5, so 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Once it drops below 20 degrees Fahrenheit, you can bank on these guys frying off. But thank God we're in a really good location on the island, and there's been only 2 occasions since I planted. I think it's only been twice that these have actually browned. It's been below 20 degrees Fahrenheit where they browned. It's been in the high teens. So you can wrap the trunk if you want, if you're really worried about it. But the key is to protect the center crown. So what I do is I fold up burlap and I sit it in there in the late fall, and then I put bubble plastic on top of that. I fold it up and sit it in, and then I just put this pot. I get this pot. I just kind of just sit down on top of it just to hold it in. So these trunks will grow big. This is a man fern, giant tree fern. They're like the biggest ferns in the world, the tree ferns. And when I got it, it had about this much trunk. I think about like that, something like. I got pictures of my daughter. My daughter's 27. Beside it when she was a little baby, and it was, you know, it's grown this much since then. So it's a pretty big trunk. It's a really big trunk, and the whole trunk consists of roots. When you feed it and water it from the top. Right. And water the trunk down too. They like that. It's like a big wick.
Because you said a lot of people don't know how to take care of them.
They don't know how to look after. They don't know how to look after them at all. They'll go out and spend thousands of dollars or whatever. They're expensive. They're like $20 a trunk inch. So they spend big bucks on one of these guys, and then the first winter they have it, it freezes to death because the inner crown has frozen. And well, that's the end of your tree fern.
They're so beautiful. Yeah, can you talk about the, like bring it over and talk about the Australian tree fern?
Yeah, we got some here.
We do. We have, how many, I think we have around...
2 Australian. No, the other ones are all Dicksonia. All the other ones in the garden
they're all
the
same.
They're all the same as those.
But we do have
These ones I moved here because they're burning.
We have the Australian tree ferns as well. So yeah, all the others are in the garden.
So they will grow in full sun to part shade. If you live closer by to the ocean like us, this will take full. Like it gets hot here, and you don't see any burnt.
Nope.
You don't see any burnt fronds on it. But the Australian tree ferns weren't so happy out here. I had them sitting beside that Cymbidium orchid.
Why don't you bring one down and show it next
I'll show you
to
the difference.
this one?
They have a skinnier trunk, and I mean they're a nice fern too. But...
So sometimes people buy the Australian tree fern thinking they're getting the Tasmanian tree fern. So you have to be really careful.
The fronds the same and everything, but these Cyathea
they have, and they actually have a different type of frond on them.
They do have a different type of frond, but you can see they're burnt from the sun.
Yeah, they got burnt.
They're totally different.
But check it out. Put these beside that.
See that? There's fronds opening here. You actually shouldn't touch the new fronds because it can turn them black.
But put this up beside, there's a difference, you'll see the difference in the leaf pattern.
Yeah, so if you have this one, it's an Australian tree fern, and it's less cold hardy in this area.
They're much more open.
They're spaced apart though, look, see they're spaced?
They are.
These are tighter.
Whereas these are very tight.
And they're not, you know what?
Be careful what you're buying. If you want a hardier fern, you want to get the Tasmanian tree fern.
And you know, They are
These are expensive also.
They're propagated by spores, not seeds. So they get spores on the undersides of the leaves. So it's propagated by spores.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're a beautiful fern. So these we have in pots. They stay out most of the winter. They only came in for about 3 days during the winter. That's it. The coldest 3 days in February, and then they came. It was early February. Remember, we had a little bit of cold. Minus 2.7 degrees Celsius or something. So there. So anyway, these are back in the shade because they are not happy.
Yeah. Well, it's just beautiful. These are just the most beautiful plant. Just love them. And to sit underneath it is amazing. Get yourself a book. Just sit out here. Gosh, I feel like I'm in the I am in the well, I'm not in the tropics, but our gardens are very exotic. And it's a great place to come see, visit, stay overnight. Visit our gallery. Visit our palm nursery. Anyway, thanks for watching.